Hey guys, it's Jack Boyles with Steam Engines USA, and today I have a very special steam engine to share with you. All of you out there watching that are Jensen collectors recognize this engine immediately. This is a Jensen number 51. The Jensen 51 started out as a base. This base is the Jensen 50 model. The features of this engine are many. There's many very high quality details added to this engine. As you can see, you have the traditional 50 steam engine with a 5-inch flywheel. You have a feed pump that'll push water off of this water tower. Water goes down, there's a little shut-off valve here. It goes over, comes up into the feed pump, and as the engine is running, it pushes the water into the back of the boiler where it mixes with the hot steaming water. Steam comes out the throttle line to a throttle control and then down into the cylinder. And as it's running, it has a working governor. The exhaust, typically, the exhaust will come straight off, and you would put it into a choff pot. With this one has a built-in choff pot on this board, so the exhaust comes out, goes into this choff pot. Don't know if you can see down in there, but there is a drain line at the very bottom, and it runs all the way to the back of the engine and out to a drain tube, which I'll drop off into a trash can there. This is a saw. And as you can see, the original owner swapped out, well, actually this was actually from Jensen, but they swapped out the saw blade for a flywheel. And this was done while they were at schools and shows to keep kids from getting their fingers, if they wanted to touch it, to keep them from getting cut by the little saw blade. So very interesting. It is the AC/DC original generator. You don't see a lot of those generators, but it powers the light post, and this light post is much larger than a typical light post. The average light post is a little bit shorter, about 3/4 the size of this one. Let's see here. You have your pop-up valve, your gauge for pressure, whistle. It is a 3-sight glass boiler, 5-inch boiler, and this is the drain valve to drain the water out of the boiler when you're finished. Yeah, it does have a extra large stack base, the smokestack base, nickel-plated smokestack. Over here, probably the most interesting part of this engine is it's about a 27-inch high-rise water tower. It uses the same 5-inch diameter boiler for the water tower. So it is modified. It's got a nice little lid on it there. The water drains down the bottom and then returns to this valve, and then the circulation continues. The instrument panel, there's a main power switch on the back side here. Fuse valve. And then your gauges here. This switch cuts on your DC motor, which is this item. And when it is on, you can move this switch and it'll show you the milliamps. It'll show what it's pulling voltage wise. Volts and milliamps. This switch is your AC light, which is the light itself. You cut this one on, cuts the light on, and then you just cut this switch on, it shows the milliamps. I did say when I cut the DC generator on, it actually powers the saw, which has a small little flywheel on there now. And then these 3 switches are your heating elements. So there's 3 in this unit. And when I picked it up, we had 49, right at 550 hours on it, and Right now we're at 5526. So I guess that's actually 55 hours, 26 minutes. So we were at 54 hours when I picked it up. So running almost a half hour, and a half an hour since I've gotten it. This light cuts on when it is running. So just a beautiful engine. As you know, this is what I would say is the crown jewel of the Jensen collection. It is their largest engine, the biggest engine they produced. I would say the most desired engine. I've wanted to acquire one of these ever since I became a Jensen collector and saw the very first engine running and started learning about the company and the history. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. I feel it's a privilege and an honor to have it now part of the Steam Engines USA collection. I did, if you've been watching my YouTube video, I sold a Jensen 50, and I sold a very rare, probably one of a kind, number 25 riveted Jensen from 1931. And most of the collectors out there were probably asking me if I was crazy for selling those. Well, kind of the cat's out of the bag now. Now you realize why I sold those engines. It was to acquire this one. So obviously some of you would have just kept them all, but maybe one day I'll be in that position, but not right now. But I am very honored to add this to our collection. I look forward to sharing it with others. I plan to take it to some shows and schools and use this engine to share the world of steaming with others. So it's just a wonderful opportunity that I run across, and thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to purchase this engine from you. And I'll refrain from saying where I got this engine, but thank you very much. So that is the Jensen Model 51, and I'm going to come back with another video shortly running this engine. So from High Point, North Carolina, Steam Engines USA, the Jensen Model 51. Thanks for watching, and be sure to click the like button and subscribe.